Hello, hello, my lovely people out there. Like-minded, sensitive souls, empaths, highly sensitive people. Earth Angel, Starseed, God's chosen people. Like myself. And you've gone through narcissistic abuse experiences, domestic violence. Well, narcissistic abuse is domestic violence, and they can also physically kill you and attack you, like what has happened to me as a child also. So it is very serious, and there are a few things that are coming to me today that I want to talk about. So when this is what is really coming to me now, that if there is someone who is just making your trauma worse when they are seriously supposed to be helping you, and you are expecting empathy and understanding from them, but you quickly feel and notice that no, this is the other way around, that they are really making you feel worse. They're making your trauma worse. They're triggering your trauma, your CPTSD symptoms. Well, this person has no clue how to treat you, how to face you when you have gone through this sort of trauma, when you are a sensitive being. So many people have no clue, and that is why they might consider you being strange, like you're a peculiar being. They might say to you that you're being weird or there's something off about you, which again is gaslighting. It's enabling the abuse. And of course, again, we should be taking a look at the abusers and the bullies, not the ones who are being abused or have been abused. So, and any sorts of abuse and bullying are never acceptable, and these are big issues that I'm always going to be talking about when it comes to my mission from God, for my work, who I am as a person. If I would have been able to speak up as a child, I would have. If I would have been able to stand up for myself when I was being seriously bullied and scapegoated at home, I would have. But of course I did what I could. We always do what we can at the time with what tools we have at that time. So we cannot be both blaming ourselves and carrying the guilt and pain from those abusers when it's not even our problem in the beginning, to begin with. And but anyway, this is just coming to me that if there is someone in your life who is doing this to you, you just have to cut them off and understand where you stand in life, how far you have come, to honor your path, your healing, yourself, to respect and love yourself, to know your value and worth as a person, as a sensitive being. And know that these people just do not know, they do not have a clue, they do not understand. If they consider you and your story, your trauma to be somehow strange or wrong in any way, it is not acceptable. People should always understand that you never know what somebody has been going through or is going through. And people should have respect for one another. Of course, empathy, yes. Unfortunately, not many people seem to have the gift of empathy and compassion and understanding. So that is why they behave this way. That is why they abuse and bully others. And this is just how it is, apparently. And all we can do is just be coping with these things as much as possible as we can. I've been thinking about my toxic exes a lot because of what happened yesterday, because I was in contact with this old crush who I really felt that I loved and looked up to very, very strongly. But he was just playing with my feelings and like toying with me and my health, apparently. What happened, and he would not take accountability or responsibility when I communicated how I felt about his behavior. I was calling him out. So it made me think again, and it was making me think about my other toxic exes who I have also had to be healing and recovering from, moving on from, and how much work it has taken from me to be able to do that. And so, yes, of course, I wish I could have, you know, I could have done this or done that and said that or that, but um, ultimately, with these kind of people, with narcissistic people, with these psychopathic people, it's it's not about you. It's not about you, what you say or do. They will always want the power and control no matter what. And usually they won't stop at nothing to get it. So, yes, we need healthy, strict boundaries with these people. We need to have a strong self concept so that they are not able to get to us to make us gaslighted and to make us blame ourselves. And in order to, to remain sane and healthy, you just have to be able to stand your ground with them. And of course, yes, I could not do this at those times during those years. I have not been able to do it in a way that I would have wanted it to happen. So that is, of course, one reason why I'm now here recording my videos and speaking, so that I can help people like me to be able to cope and deal and heal. And of course, yes, you can always book a one-on-one call with me if you're interested in working with me one-on-one. And my self-help book also on Amazon will really help you and guide you forward if you are very stuck in your life, you feel depressed and alone and lost and all of those things, and you don't have anyone to talk to, and you just want to be able to have a better life, a peaceful life, because you deserve that. As empaths and highly sensitive people, earth angels, chosen ones, we just want peace. We just want a peaceful life with respect, and we deserve normal, healthy support as well. But yes, so these are just coming to me that if this is resonating with you, that if there are people who are gaslighting you about your trauma, making it worse, it is not your fault, and all you can do is just stand your ground a little more, have faith in God, in yourself a little more. We always need to be choosing peace and love and releasing and forgive. And forgiveness doesn't mean that the abuse was okay, that the bullying was okay. It means that you are just able to release it from your system, your body, because you're not supposed to be carrying that negative energy within you, because it's destructive. So you don't need that. But yeah, so really, I'm having a few thoughts. What was also coming to me was, if you're wondering if it is intentional, if the abuse is intentional or not. I've been sometimes talking about this, that from my personal experience with my intuition, with my narcissistic mother, with my narcissistic exes and the bullies, I really felt their pain, and later on I realized how afraid they also are. They carry this fear and shame and guilt that they are projecting on their victims, on others. And of course that is why I was always feeling so ashamed of myself and guilty and fearful and insecure, because they had been pouring their pain on me. and I was carrying it, and I became depressed. So whether it is intentional or not really ultimately doesn't matter. But if you're wondering about it, if it is intentional or not, yes, it can. I would say that very often it is intentional. But sometimes, because they are filled with demonic energies, demonic entities, I would say that sometimes it's not intentional. They're so filled with anger and pain and fear and all those things, those negative, destructive energies. So they cannot help but to be pouring them out on innocent victims. Like what happened yesterday to me with my old crush, who I really thought I had a genuine connection with, and I really thought that we understood each other. I could talk to him about anything. He had made me so happy whenever I had been interacting with him. Of course, apart from that he broke my heart when I was 17. He broke my heart at that time, so of course it was not a good start for anything, of course. But anyway, I forgave him because I've always been so forgiving. So I forgave him, and I was always so happy to hear from him. So yes, he gave me a lot of joy, and this again is a trap that can happen when this toxic person makes you feel so good. They make you feel so happy and respected and heard, but then they're being toxic to you, and then you notice that they're basically all about their needs, that if you say and do something, you're being your authentic self, honestly and authentically, communicating your needs and expecting them to be, for example, empathetic to you when you're sick, for example, you notice that you're not getting it. You're not getting the empathy or the compassion or the attention from them at that time. And you start to see that this is not reciprocational, that this is not healthy, that basically it was just this sort of an illusion that they had created for you, because they have been benefiting from your kind energy and love and support, empathy and attention and everything that you've been giving to this person, and maybe other things even. In this case, it was just like it was just energy, and it was just conversational interaction. But anyway, this is that I should have seen. I should have noticed the signs and what it is really about, and not be hopeful alone, expecting him to do something he's never going to do. And he was giving me these empty promises. And that is what they do, these kinds of narcissistic people. I'm not sure, like, I would not say that he's a full-on narcissist, this person, but certainly he has those traits, apparently. And I'm not going to be blindsided anymore. I'm not going to be blinded anymore. And I called him out like an adult woman does. And I don't want to be manipulated and controlled by anyone. So I'm standing firm, and that is why I communicated with him honestly when he was trying to attack me, saying to me how much I have hurt him. But I had to tell him that you have been hurting me this entire time. And from my point of view, a man has to be a strong person. I've had to be a very strong person, but I expect a man in my life, if he's really interested in me romantically and in every way, valuing me as a woman. I expect him to be a strong person with empathy and compassion and kindness, whether it is a friend or a life partner. And I'm not going to be settling for less anymore, and this is my boundary. And I know what a real man is like. And so he was not acting like a real man. So, of course, that was making me feel very frustrated and infuriated and very, very angry. And I was really I was experiencing pain on my chest because he would not listen to me. He would not hear me. I had to repeat myself to him. And then I noticed afterwards that I made mistakes again that I really did not have to make, but I was making them because I cared. So of course you do things because you care, because you love, because you have those hopes and wishes that maybe this would work out in some way, that we could actually be friends. That is what I was trying to do when he was talking to me about friendship. I was trying to be his friend. Authentically and honestly, I was trying to be his friend with respect. But of course, I also have to expect respect from him as well. And not me alone giving him empathy and compassion and everything, especially when he already has a wife and children. So yeah, yes, it was very painful, yes, and I'm not going to go back there again, and so I completely had to detach myself from him and let it be. And yeah, but anyway, this is just what is coming to me, that if some of you are resonating with this, that you're dealing with a narcissistic man in your life, an ex, whoever it is, in a romantic sense, and you start to notice that really this is hurting me more than giving me anything. It is really time to cut that off, because that person will never give you what you need, what you deserve. They are ultimately just takers. So whether it is intentional or not, because I really have felt, and I have always, I always felt it deep down within myself through my intuition that, especially when my mother was attacking me physically as a child, she was so filled with that anger. She was so taken by that anger, so triggered. When I did not know how to do my math work, my math homework, I was not good at that. So she got so angry. She was like shaming me for that. And yes, it caused me a lot of trauma, a lot of shame, a lot of fear. I was so scared of her. But I felt that a part of her didn't mean it to happen. She was just so filled with that anger that she didn't know what else to do. But yeah, this is just what is coming to me right now. My experiences and my thoughts. So of course, always honor your own feelings and emotions and experiences and your life path. Of course, when you have been through serious, severe trauma, narcissistic abuse. But yeah, that was always what I felt, that it was not intentional in that way. But mostly, I would say that, like I said, most of the time it is intentional, because they can be so scheming, so conniving, they can be so twisted, that they're basically like psychopaths and they don't care about you. And when you stand up for yourself, it just gets worse. It just gets worse with time. So you are really just hurting yourself if you're dealing with these people. And it is not acceptable. And we cannot be making excuses for bullying or abuse. We need to be calling them out and recognizing for what they are, what the manipulation is, what the gaslighting is. Because it is no joke. Seriously, I would not be here anymore if I had not been able to fight for my life alone. I know that God has been carrying me through. But the feelings of the loneliness, and to be crying alone, and to be paralyzed by the trauma when you simply cannot do anything. It is just too much. It is just not okay on any levels. So anyone out there who is defending bullies and abusers, I really hope that they would just take a good look in the mirror and stop that behavior, because they are being enablers and they are being as toxic as the abusers when they do that. We have to be mature, stable, grown adults. We have to be the peacemakers. We have to be responsible. We have to take accountability. How else are things going to work? There are just certain life rules that we have to live by. So this is just what I wanted to talk about. That was really just coming to me, like these downloads are just coming to me like flows of thoughts, and then I need to be sharing them in case, and hopefully my videos and my posts are reaching to the right people, to my people who resonate with my energy, with my story, and really want my help and support. Because it's never healthy, it's never okay to be putting up with these kinds of abusive, bully people who just won't take any accountability or responsibility of their own lives. They just blame others. I really saw it clearly yesterday, the pattern with this old crush man, that he was really doing this same thing. The same pattern, that he causes the problem, and then he was like blaming me and telling me not to contact him when he had been the one who had always been contacting me. And I'm like, I was so angry at him. I was so like, no, this cannot be happening. This cannot be happening anymore. That I really cared about you, I loved you, and you treat me like this. You cause me physical pain, and I've already been through enough lately as well, with my arm almost being broken, still hurting, and things that have been happening lately. So if he would have been a stable, mature adult man with empathy and compassion and respect, of course he would have understood, and the apology would have been authentic, and I would have felt that in his energy, that he would not even have hurt me in the first place. So there would not have been anything to apologize for. And also, this was just coming to me today, that we cannot be apologizing to narcissistic people when we have not done anything wrong. If you are an abuse victim, you have not done anything wrong. It's not about you being at fault. It's about you being a victim of abuse. So don't be rewarding abuse by apologizing to them. They force feed their issues, their trauma onto you, like you are nothing. You're not even a person with human worth or opinions or boundaries or anything. They treat you like a punching bag. So you have to force feed them your self-love, your self-respect, trust in yourself, loving yourself, honoring yourself every day, taking excellent care of yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve all of those amazing things that God has for you, that the universe has for you, that your angels have for you. We're always so loved and supported, but we just need to open our arms and our hearts and our souls and just be receiving those blessings and miracles, and talk to God and have faith in ourselves. Have trust in ourselves. Because these people, they love to come to act as distractions, to take us away from what truly matters. And it is not acceptable. But they will do that if we allow them to. So let's allow blessings and miracles. Let's allow better things to come into our lives instead of these toxic and negative things. We have so much power over our own lives. We do. I hope this video has helped you, and thank you for supporting my work, for liking my videos, sharing my videos to fellow people. And yeah, get in touch with me if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, and do check out my self-help book. It will really help you on your healing path. And much love to your day. Bye bye.